hoping that this gets to the right collective, but you guys do not actually like alternative Black people, especially alternative Black women. And I only bring this up because I literally saw a tweet pertaining to that. The tweet was about Doechii, and it was somebody saying that like her old makeup was worse and more disgusting and wasn't like as flattering as her makeup that she does now. And they were talking about how like she's accepting her natural beauty now and that like she looks better. Which is like, okay, like a non-alternative person being icked out by alternative makeup. Okay, fork found in kitchen, pirates found on a pirate ship. But like what really made the cogs in my brain just like start like rotating and turning was that you guys cannot accept unapologetically Black people, Black women. Y'all cannot accept unapologetically Black women, let alone, God forbid, they're alternative, because y'all will have a field day with that. It makes you uneasy because you can't easily place us into that stereotypical box that you place all Black women into. In our patriarchal society, Black women are only palatable as one thing. And, you know, when we step out of that one thing, when we're alternative, when we're just artists, creatives, just, you know, weird and just out of the norm, we're always greeted with malice, and we're also greeted with the fact that our personas are fake and not really emulating who we truly are, when what we are is what we came as. That leaves a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So there's that. Well, anyways, let me get off my soapbox, but that's my truth. That's my truth.
Hi, I'm Sade, and I absolutely love seeing Doechii win. I love seeing Doechii win. I love seeing Doechii succeed. I'm loving this. I'm loving to see, obviously, this gorgeous woman, and such a talented, like, oh my God. The talent. First of all, alternative Black baddie. Did you think that I would not be obsessed? Are you serious? Oh my God. There has been a lot of weird things said about her, which I get it, you know. Not everybody's gonna love a celebrity. Not everybody's going to enjoy a new artist. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people feel like they're a special snowflake and they're going against the grain, like, I just don't like her music, you know. So okay, I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to excuse me because I have a cold and I sound like shit. Okay, bear with me. I feel so stuffed up in my head. But I wanted to talk about how people were saying, oh, I like her look now, I like her fashion now, her makeup better now, and liking her more now that she is quote unquote like less alternative looking, which is so crazy because even the aesthetic right now for Alligator Bites Don't Heal was still very alternative. Like, people forget, like, Blackness comes in so many different shapes, forms, and fashions, and I think that she was very refreshing regardless of which era she was in, because there's always been such a specific box around the way a woman rapper should look, right? There are like very defined check marks for that aesthetic, and for so long people will be complaining, oh, everybody looks the same, everybody sounds the same, and then whenever they get something different, they still complaining. You see that, right? They still complaining. Make it make sense. But even within the, you know, like softer makeup and the kind of like preppy look, because she said that she was a student of hip hop, and kind of the more like peeled back aesthetics and things like that, and less like, you know, contacts and wild makeup and everything like that. There's still so many vibes and so many through lines there for me that still gave alternative, and even her being so bold and wearing the cornrows and the beads and things, like, I love it. I'm eating it up. But it still gave alt. Even whenever she's like incorporating niche things and interesting things like the face tape being visible and things like that, and kind of putting the aspects that should be hidden, like underwear, like to the forefront. I hate that word. Y'all push that on me. Excuse me. In women rap, it's always been so important to perform hyper femininity, especially as a dark-skinned woman, because you're always having masculinity thrusted on you, right? They're always trying to masculinize you. You're always thinking about misogynoir. But it's so interesting to me how she plays with masculine images, and, you know, like jock straps and wearing those abs, and like she's not afraid to lean into both masculine and feminine energy. You know, I know that she's LGBT, I think bisexual, and I just think she's so like free and unencumbered in a way that I don't see a lot of Black women, Black femmes being able to embrace, right? It's like there's a serious and also justified fear in not constantly performing like hyper femininity, because since we are like so masculinized and also people are also like projecting so much weird shit on us, it's like we almost have to like assert that femininity so much. And I just love that she always using fashion to push boundaries, always using her music to push boundaries, always using her makeup, her hair to push boundaries. I think that's so fascinating. It's been weird watching people's reactions to her and her not conforming to the usual rap girly formulas, and then that getting her labeled on Twitter as making Harriet Tubman music, even though she's just talking about drugs and life and love. And what about it gave free the slaves? And I have to say that I feel like this seed was planted by Drake by saying that about Kendrick, and then it somehow, the seed for that was planted by Drake, you know, trying to joke, oh, he rapping like he trying to feed the slaves towards Kendrick, and just like making it negative or derogatory to be proud of your Blackness or like happy in your own skin or celebrate your culture, celebrate your roots. Doechii also got swept up into that anti-intellectualism because, and like hatred of people embracing their culture, embracing their skin tone, and, you know, just performing Blackness in different ways, right? Instead of like these archetypal ways that we are being force fed in the media. I'm not saying that those types of Black people do not exist. I'm saying that even some Black people have a closed-minded perspective of what Blackness could look like, or like an assumption that everyone who is alternative is like some extreme fringe of something. People are diverse, and we've always been diverse, and we've always taking up space in all these different alternative arenas and sounds and aesthetics. You just may not have been seeing that because it wasn't quote unquote like marketable. Do you understand? Also, I'm not placing all alternative or like Black women or, you know, out of the box unique Black women on at her feet or at Rico Nasty's feet or at anybody's feet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I love to see more representation and more visibility, and it needs to be even more than her, right? But it's so fascinating watching her take over the game, watching her skills that she's been cultivating over time finally receive its just due and its credit. Very, 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 very creative person, like very interesting, very creative person. So I'm so interested to see the artist that she's going to continue to become. It is very interesting how your aesthetics alone will get you so much harsh judgment. There's so many people judging her because she does have alternative aesthetics or is not like fitting the typical pussy rap archetype right now. Which, mind you, she can do that. Like, she can do those playful types of songs. She can do a club banger. Like, y'all are asleep right now. Y'all are asleep right now. She can do all of those things. She's a very multifaceted artist, right? But it's so crazy how at one point y'all could be dragging women in rap and saying, oh, y'all are just talking about the same things. Y'all are just doing the same things, yada, 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 yada. And then someone else comes in with a fresh perspective and a different style and everything like that, and you're still finding issue with it. This is going to end up being a Doechii standing out. I could tell. But yeah, no, I'm loving Anxiety going viral and her showing that she can do such an introspective side, right? And also watching her sound writing and creative process is so interesting. I could see why her and Doja were on tour with each other because there's just such an interesting through line there. And then I can enjoy Doechii since Doja is just like kind of like so anti-Black, it's kind of cringy sometimes, bro. But yeah, I'm going to end this with this amazing video about how Black women don't get the label of tortured artist. And, you know, I just want to tell you that you should definitely appreciate Black artists, but also, and more specifically, Black women artists, especially like the alternative ones and the ones that are showing a different perspective on Blackness. I love her theater kid vibes. I love the creative makeup. I love the androgyny that she plays into. I'm absolutely obsessed with her on the runway the other day. Like, she's just giving me a whole different vibe. A whole different vibe. It's very refreshing. It's very interesting. And I'm going to stay tuned in. Thank you for watching. I'm Sade. Bye. 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 And thank you to my friend Daisy for telling me to listen. I remember I was like in the library and I finally sat down and really listened to that mixtape, and I was like, I'm listening. Okay, that was it. Okay, that A2. Okay. And the songs just kept growing on me and growing on me. It was so crazy how slept on that project was. This is it. It was like coasting, and then it just went right up. And once the right people hear it, things will resonate, you know. Things take time. It takes time to find the right people, to find the right audience for your art, but it's worth the wait. And I'm glad that she stayed diligent. I'm glad that she put herself out there. It's like inspiring in a way, you know. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. I appreciate it. If you have some interesting perspectives about being an alternative Black woman, I mean, you know what, actually I want to add something else in here, because I've been talking about this. I've been talking about the rejection of alternative Black people, and especially Black women, for a long time.
We then leave. Like, there's 100,000 people that talk.
This is exactly what we were talking about the other day on my page. Y'all will say Black people are not a monolith. I'm not talking about anybody else. Black people are not a monolith. And then as soon as we start to explore ourselves and be alternative, be whatever, then here you come with the shenanigans, trying to put somebody into a box, or tell them that they can only behave as a stereotype, or they're trying to be weird, or they're trying to be white, or they're trying to be, oh, I don't claim them. But I don't claim you.
And we have to just like get over these like very like rigid understandings of Blackness. Not on some, we're just gonna let any and everybody call themselves Black. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a lot of the behaviors, standards, and aesthetics that you associate with Blackness. I think that there's a broader understanding, and this is not coming from some angsty, oh, the black kids didn't like me because I watched anime. You know, it's not giving that, oh, the Black girls didn't like me, so I'm not gonna date them. Pretty much not that. There's a difference between being alternative Black and, you know, being interested in different things or different forms of art, and then being anti-Black. Now, there's some people who cross in the middle of this Venn diagram, but that is not a representation of, you know, you could still be proud of your Blackness. You can still be accepting of yourself, still have a different aesthetic and way that you're carrying yourself, okay? So let me be clear. Let me be clear. Love her pride from Florida as a Southern belle myself. And I love that she, oh my God. I want to end the video, but I keep circling back. You've got to, if you don't do anything else, please go watch her tiny desk. Go watch her tiny desk. I love that she had all Black women in her band, but more importantly, they sound freaking amazing. I love her DJ. I love the hairstyling from this era. I'm just so obsessed, okay? I'm so obsessed. Thank you, Doechii, for dropping some amazing music. I'm locked in, okay? I'm locked in. I'm looking forward to what you do next. It's no rush. It's no rush, but I love where this is going. I love where this is going. I'm loving this alternative representation. I have some things on my vision board, some Doechii makeup looks that I must do. I'm gonna stop ranting and rambling. I didn't have a script today because I just want to talk about how I adore Doechii. I do, and we need different types of women in the rap space. It used to be so diverse. Oh my god. It used to be so diverse. Okay, we need diversity. Also, I just love that she put her heart and her vulnerability into the music in this project. Right now, especially with everything going on in the world, it's so nice listening to something with some meat on its bones that, you know, has heart. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sade. Sorry my voice sounds terrible, but I appreciate you sticking with me. Please like if you like. Let's redo some Doechii makeup looks, okay? Because the makeup artist is eating. Thank you.
Doechii is such a fucking star, and it is such a breath of fresh air to watch her. In a world where we are constantly seeing mediocrity praised for the sake of profit, it is so refreshing to see somebody so raw and so like purely talented be in the spotlight. Like, to watch her become a star is like, thank God. Like, at least we're doing one thing right. I think the main reason why we don't think of artists now the way that we think of like Shakespeare, the way we think of like Leonardo da Vinci, the way we think of like Basquiat, it is not because people are not creating pieces of art that are phenomenal, right? Like, people are still doing that. Until the end of time, people will still create art, and there'll still be art worth talking about. But one of the reasons why they don't feel as grand and the art itself doesn't feel like so life-changing is because we are in a place in life where people are making art for the sake of profit, right? This concept of going down the lane of art as a way to become super rich is a relatively new concept, right? Like, so many artists died penniless and poor. Vincent van Gogh, Oscar Wilde, like, and I think the fact that they were poor, it just adds a little bit of extra, right? Like, it makes their art so much more meaningful when we look at it now, because you can see the purity of it. You can see how pure it was, right? Like, they were making art because they loved it, because it was a way of life for them, because they absolutely had to make art as a means of survival. We are not witnessing people go into the arts, go into filmmaking, go into television writing, go into writing in general, go into making art like painting and things of that sort, because they're like, oh my God, if my art blows up, I will get super popular and I will become super rich off of it, right? And it takes off a level of authenticity from it. Art lacks rawness because, in part, the reason why art is being made now is to make a ridiculous profit. As an artist now, you're thinking, if I want to make millions of dollars, then I need people to like this. So in the back of your mind, you are keeping the opinion of other people in the back of your mind. You're being like, let me tweak a little bit of this to think that audiences will like this a little bit better. Versus when artists were penniless and they were not hoping to make money off art, they were just making art for the sake of making art. They were being 100% honest, right? And so many of their works were not understood when they were alive. And it wasn't so much later that the general public caught up and were like, you know what? Actually, this is brilliant. I know this is a weird comparison, but to me, Doechii is the first time in a very long time I've seen an artist that kind of resembles that to me, right? Especially now that we're seeing so many of her old songs blow up, and it's just this idea that she was being raw and authentic and like not thinking, oh my God, what will people like? She was just kind of being like, I'm going to make art because I need to make art as a way to survive. It is my natural instinct to want to make art, and I'm going to do whatever feels good to me, whatever feels right to me, regardless of whether people get it or not. And I think her standing on her guns and then people eventually catching up and catching it, and now again, hindsight is 2020, and now with hindsight we're looking at it and being like, oh my God, no, this is actually brilliant. Like, you know, like when she dropped it at first, it didn't really make any sense to us. It wasn't really clicking, but now, wow, that's actually brilliant. Anyways, I don't know if the way I'm explaining this makes sense, but my whole point is that I really love her and I'm excited to see her grow, and I really want her to have a lot of sons. And what I mean by sons is not that I want her 1,000,001 artists to come out copying her style and her cadence and all that, but I do want more artists to watch what she's doing and watch how authentic she's being and how experimental she's being and how creative she's being, and take that into play and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go that direction as well. I'm gonna find my own sound in my own lane, and I'm gonna thrive in that versus trying to be generic and kind of fit into the mold of what I think will be profitable.